All right, welcome. Midday Mashup, day 3, final day of Expo East 2023. I'm Bill Giebler with NBJ, Nutrition Business Journal, for those who don't know, which is part of New Hope Network, with my colleagues and friends here. We've got Doug Brown and Amanda Hart, also from New Hope. Welcome.
Hi, thanks
Good
for
to be
having
here,
us.
yeah.
Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you. I haven't seen you since an hour ago. So it's day 3 of Expo. It's the final day of, wait for it, the final Expo. It's crazy. I mean, it's really, it's not the final Expo.
It's the season finale and the series finale of Expo East.
Of
There
Expo
you go,
East.
yeah.
Crucial qualifier there, East, Expo East. This is the last, yeah, very well said, season finale and series finale of Expo East. So it's like, wow, it's sort of bittersweet. It's been a really great show. I thought so. I mean, it's just packed with people, really great innovations, cool product, yeah?
Yes.
100%, yeah.
Lots of new brands. I mean, I've seen tons of new 1-year, 6-month startup brands, particularly with our new innovation experience concept, some really young brands.
I talked to a couple too who, we got these 3 weeks ago, and you
Yeah.
know, like we started a month ago.
Brands launching here at Expo. We
Yeah.
hit a bunch of those,
Yeah. So it's the end of Expo East, but it's not the end of all of it. So New Hope's transitioning into this new concept next year, Newtopia Now, and there's something going on, yeah?
Indeed, yeah. There's a party over here in section E, kind of in the back. It's a Newtopia Now party, and there's cornhole, and there is full bar, and there is shrimp and grits, and fried chicken, and other good things.
And shrimp and grits, because we're going to Georgia next year.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's apple pie and warm apple pie and ice cream, and it's a lot of fun.
I'll getting the southern vibe on. So
Totally.
next year, Savannah, Georgia, August 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that. Newtopia Now, whole new concept. It should be really interesting, a really new innovation on the New Hope side.
Yeah.
You know, the trade show is evolving as well.
After 38 years.
38 years.
Yeah, 38 years.
wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's this one. That's
Yeah.
East, and Expo West is longer.
Yeah.
38
Yeah.
plus, whatever that is. So, lots of cool products. Let's talk about some of that. What we're seeing out there today, and all week. Let's start over here, Amanda. And we'll just bounce around. I got more product here than I know how to talk about, so we'll
Yeah.
see how far we get. But,
Yeah, I think we see, New Hope Network has been broadening its partnership with organizations really working towards supporting and empowering BIPOC entrepreneurs, as well as anyone interested in the natural products industry from underrepresented communities. And so we're seeing a lot of cool, really new emerging brands from these underrepresented communities. We have, I really like these cookies. They're just, it's from Janita's Jar, and, or is it might be Juanita's.
Yeah.
probably.
I think it's Juanita.
Oh, I don't know.
Juanita.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a
Janita's
little-
Is it
yeah,
Janita's?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Junitas.
Junita. She is Minnesota based, and she has found inspiration in making bringing her mother's recipe to the marketplace, and with a mission to really raise awareness for victims of relationship abuse and violence. And
Wow.
so she's really focused on creating the opportunity to communicate, and for those experiencing these same challenges to have an invitation to come together around it and find an opportunity for hope and to come out of it and find a community to help with that.
Wow, what a great place to start, because
Yeah.
it says so much about what's going on here at Expo. I think you were there, Jay Shetty, this morning,
Yeah.
the keynote this morning. Jay Shetty did a great job of talking about the why, really focusing on, he had 3 mindset concepts, 3 mindsets for success in this industry. under the umbrella of purpose. And the first one was the conscious business, or the consciousness of what you're doing. Why are you doing it? And reminding yourself every morning why you're doing what you're doing. And there's so many products that taste good, and and that's crucial. It has to taste good, or it's not going to be successful. But getting a mission behind it is one of the things that is what this industry is built on, right? And that mission shifts over time from we still call it the natural products industry, but it's not as much about it's not only about natural anymore. Now it's about diversity, and it's about
inclusion and support
for people who need it. So that's a great find.
Yeah, I love that one. I've also been hydrating myself with a Korean-inspired sparkling beverage with cinnamon, ginger, jujube, and persimmon. The brand is Halmi. Very young woman bringing flavors and experiences from her heritage, and she's in the innovation experience, and I love the representation that we're seeing here. I'm seeing a lot of progress in the work that New Hope has been leaning in to really support the connectors that are bringing entrepreneurs from communities around the world to this space.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it sweet? It's a light sparkling beverage? So it's a sort of a soda.
It's date and cane sugar sweetened, but 3 grams of sugar. So it's it doesn't feel too sweet, and it's quite spicy with the cinnamon. But I like it. Yeah.
Cool. Let's go over here.
Yeah.
Hey.
What do you have?
Well, I brought no samples, alas. However, there is a photo we have. One I've really enjoyed, and there's a story on New Hope Network this morning that I wrote about the non-alcoholic beverage part of our show here. And there's a lot of, there wasn't a single brand that I didn't like or appreciate. However, one really stood out, which is Parched Parched Agave Spirits. And they have 3 RTD beverages, and they do taste they don't taste like tequila, but they really get across the kind of drink flavors you have when you have a tequila drink. And one of their brands is called, wait for it, the Spice Piñarita, and it involves spicy cayenne. Okay. And I think they roasted the pineapple, and mezcal. I love mezcal, and I love the smokiness.
Yeah.
And this drink gets across the smokiness.
Really?
And the thing, yeah. And what came across, I asked everybody, how are you not a wellness beverage? And they said, the differentiator is that we are adult. This isn't a post 6 p.m. beverage. This is an event kind of thing. It's not just full of adaptogens or whatever. That's all very good, but we are separate in that we are kind of no alcohol, but we think of ourselves as adult beverages. And they all were excellent.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll have to check them out. Where are they? Were they in the innovation experience? Or
they're over in, I think it's called...
the non-alcoholic.
The non-alcoholic alley or whatever,
Yeah, it's aisle 1000. And I think it's really interesting. You talked about partnerships with organizations. That's the Non-Alcoholic Beverage Association.
That's right, yeah.
Is that or not? Adult Non-Alcoholic Beverage Association.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. So I have a couple things. Do you guys want to taste stuff?
Yeah.
I'll taste.
There's a couple that I was really interested in. I guess I just brought one brand. I think what Groovy is doing is really interesting. Did you try Groovy?
Yeah, loved it.
I think there's 2 things going on over there. One is like Parch, which is not necessarily mimicking. And I love that. I love just let's create interesting beverages that aren't substitutes.
Yeah.
They just give you something interesting.
Yeah.
And they're not laden with sugar either.
Right.
In the category of the imitators, though, oh my God, no one's doing it better than Groovy.
So good.
I think this stuff is fantastic. It's this golden ale, and there's a few good ones out there. Something happened 5 years ago when all of a sudden non-alcoholic beer started tasting good.
That's right.
And this one's, here, grab a cup.
And this says BREWME. Is that it? Brewme or how?
Groovy.
Oh, Groovy. Sorry.
GRUVI. Groovy. I think this is such an impressive golden ale.
For sure.
Wow.
And it's just such an interesting category. And they're out of Denver. I think what they're going to do that's interesting is they're really hitting the grocery and natural channel distribution.
Right.
There's a couple of great brands out there that have dominated, maybe not dominated, but have done really well in in the liquor channel. But I think Groovy's doing interesting stuff from a distribution standpoint, getting out there in grocery and natural products or natural channel.
100%, yeah, and you got the sangria.
I got
was
that
yummy.
I
So
love
good.
this sangria.
Yeah.
So they're interesting too. They're doing both beer and wine. They've got still wines. They've got a sparkling wine. This is a lightly sparkling sangria. You don't have to mix it with your beer.
Thank you.
Does not mix
Oh,
well
that's good.
with beer.
Yeah, and Groovy's
but-
in my story in today on newhook.com right now. New Hook Network. They were
Oh,
just.
wow.
I thought again, like, as you said, very very strong. I mean, they're really making drinks that come close. These taste like sangria.
This completely tastes like sangria to
Yeah.
me. And so often these things they're missing that little poke, that little
That's right.
spike that the alcohol I think brings, and
That's right.
somehow they brought it in here. So
For sure. Yeah, and one of the keys is they're getting
Cheers.
across is that balance. A good cocktail. I used to be a booze writer for many years.
Oh.
It's all about balance, but there's always some kind of bitter element, often a sour element, which aren't especially the bitter part. It's not common in just a ready-to-drink beverage. But these drinks, I think, are pulling that off. They're adding all those complexities and those balances, and it tastes like an adult beverage.
Awesome.
Yeah. Although my kids might like it too. Of course, they're adults now, actually. So what am I saying?
I want to talk about another beverage. I'm sorry this one isn't cold, and I don't have any more cups, so you have to finish one of those if
Okay.
you want to try it. But this brand, Bolly Good, I love their branding. It's Indian woman. I mean, she's from Indianapolis, but taking a family recipe. What is it called? Nimbu pani. Nimbu is maybe lime or lemon, and pani is water. And using, they have a Nimbu pani cart like a street vendor would have in India, and they had 4 flavors, and they were all good. But this one was bizarre and weird, and probably the single most novel flavor I experienced on the entire show floor. Look at this.
Oh, good. I have not tried it yet. I can't wait.
Keyword cumin.
Yeah,
When's
that
the
is a
last time
keyword,
you had a
isn't it?
beverage with cumin?
That's
in
right,
it?
yeah.
And so, you're gonna have to. Yeah, it's gonna taste like beer. Here, I'll give you a little shot to clean out your glass, and
Okay.
then it probably tastes better with the wine.
There we go, yeah.
And then,
Let's see.
so this is lime, basil.
Wow. You can smell the cumin
Good,
long
good,
before I
good.
took a sip.
And
Really
I
good.
imagine it's not for everyone. But
Oh
it's
my
sure.
gosh.
I love it. Yeah.
It is like taking those the little snacks when you go into an Indian
Oh,
restaurant
yeah.
and like
It is like that.
really
Yeah.
yummy. So good.
Isn't that interesting? I'm
That
keep
is
waiting for someone
very
to say, "Oh my God,
flavored.
that's awful," because it's such a unique flavor. But
Yeah.
so far, everyone I shared it with is just like
Yeah.
pretty excited.
Wow.
so
about
lots
it.
of
Yeah.
strong flavor forward between this one and that one and some others. Really representing cultural fusions, really bringing
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much.
This is so
Flavor.
interesting. I just think it's a product to watch for sure.
Fabulous.
So yeah, it's help yourself.
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
it's
That's
it's
Actually,
interesting.
we'll have more of that. That's really good.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, well, we could stay with. I just wanted to talk about, as long as we're on beverages, let's
Yeah.
talk about this. I think this Odyssey, this brand, mushroom beverages, really strong, efficacious doses of several different mushrooms: lion's mane, cordyceps. It's also got L-theanine and magnesium and zinc. I like what they're doing here because they're not just sprinkling a little bit in there, but they're really putting a lot of, good doses of these things in there.
Yeah.
This prickly pear flavor, really tasty, great beverage. I think they're out of Florida. Cool company. They're just a couple years in now, and so I like what Odyssey is doing. This is the prickly pear. Oh, and you know what else I like about it? It's their first line. They're marketing them as energy beverages, and they had caffeine in them. But now they've got a new line of still energy beverages, but no caffeine.
Okay.
And I want to see more and more of that. They call this hydration and mood. It's kind of got a calming and energizing thing going on at the same time, which I think is interesting. Instead of a stimulant, if you can calm down, you can find a focused energy. I think is the concept they're going
yeah,
out there.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
sure.
Yeah.
so Odyssey, that's a cool one too. I'll open it if you want to try it. Otherwise,
Yeah, I've seen them and I've been really fascinated by their formulations with a variety of functional mushrooms. Yeah.
yeah, good stuff from Odyssey.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go now? What do we?
Well, you know, this product, which is so flavor forward, reminds me of maybe my favorite. Well, it's certainly one of my favorite products of the show is a an ice cream called Sweet Tahini. This is an
Yeah.
Israeli-American woman from Boston who, I mean, it is like I happen to love tahini and halva. If you don't like that flavor, you're not going to like this product. But if you like it, it was phenomenal. And she had two of my favorite flavors are cardamom and pistachio. She happened to have one of them was cardamom, pistachio, and tahini
I
ice
tried that
cream.
too.
Oh, it was so.
Did you
so
try that?
good.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Were they out again today?
I don't know. And
All
she
right.
just launched it here at Expo.
Yeah.
So it was fabulous.
I know, and I like what you said about it too, because it tastes like tahini. They're not using some
Yeah.
ingredient and trying to mimic ice cream.
That's right.
Like, let's celebrate what the
That's right.
ingredient is,
100%.
and let it taste like
Yeah.
tahini.
And the tahini, those ground sesame seeds make a really beautiful texture too. I mean, that was a really rich ice cream experience.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot more tahini incorporated across
I agree, yeah.
categories. Yeah.
Yeah.
More. Soom has the tahini spread, and now they're going into tahini and date for a low sugar, a little bit of protein, and a good healthy fat snack.
Yeah.
So it's into a little bit of a chew and the ice cream. And I feel like there was a couple of other brands that stuck out with the tahini
Yeah.
as their primary ingredient.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you?
Well-
let's go somewhere else.
Well, yeah. So, we talked about partnerships that we have, and I think that a big theme that emerges and continues to emerge is that of collaboration. And the industry really needs good collaboration to really make the impact that we want to have. And one of our partner groups has been with the Upcycled Foods Association, and so we have Upcycle Alley and the Innovation Experience. And we have tons of brands working in the upcycling space. This one was in hot products. This is Gear Hugger, and I have been really taken aback by this innovation here, but I am further amazed when I actually stopped by and talked to them at their booth because I learned more. So this is upcycling agave leaves from the tequila and mezcal production from producers in parts of Mexico. And this is a plant-based bike degreaser and lubricant company with the goal to displace petroleum, because when you apply petroleum products in your garage items, your bikes, your lawnmowers, then you take your bike out into the mountains, and then you're kind of leaving a little bit of a trail of
right.
petroleum in certain parts of nature. And then what they also said, which I thought was really interesting for retailers, our natural retailers wouldn't necessarily carry a product like this. They wouldn't necessarily have a bike lubricant or a degreaser, but because this is so natural forward and it has so many principles there, they're saying retailers, you can keep your customer in longer that might need to go to the hardware store for this product.
So category expansion.
So
too.
really carry this and you'll have
for sure.
a broader
I like that.
consumer.
Yeah, I like that too.
So they're very interesting.
Well, this is so great. We are almost out of time. Look, 2 more minutes. Anything else on your mind?
The thing on my mind is how the alt dairy, particularly the cheese category, and we did the alt dairy on the plant-based smokes. Those have been great for a long time. The cheese, I don't think was all that great 5 years ago. And meat got better and better, the alt meats. I'm seeing at this show so many really good, not just spreads, I mean hard cheeses, aged cultured cheeses from cashews. And one cheese that launched today, or during the show rather, just out of olive oil.
I saw that too.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite like the artisanal cheeses that we're seeing elsewhere, but it was more like a meltable mozzarella, Monterey Jack sort of stuff.
Yeah, Good Planet Foods. Well, Good Planet, though, they also did have, you could put it on a cheese board, chunks of cheese.
Okay.
Really good.
Yeah.
But I think that alt cheese category is really doing well at this show. I'm seeing an awful lot.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah.
It felt good to recap what's going on here. Again, last day. How did you put it? Season
series finale. Oh, season finale, series finale.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
wrap it
right.
up. This is our last midday mashup ever at an Expo
Wow.
East. So there you go. And so it's great to do it with you, Doug
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Amanda. Super
Thank
fun.
you.
Great stuff. Thanks for watching. And if you're here watching, I don't know why you're watching instead of walking the show floor, but get over to that Newtopia Now party, and
That's right.
and we'll see you over there.
Shrimp and grits, waffles, fried chicken.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. And we'll see you in Savannah. Thanks.